Hello, it's Jack here from Vintage Project. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who watched last week's video. 210 viewers is quite a lot for me anyway, being quite humble. 210 is a lot of viewers to receive on a first video. I never expected to reach more than 50, 60 people. So to exceed that by 3-4 times is unbelievable. So again, thank you everyone who decided to take their time to watch an idiot ramble on about his life on basically his phone. In fairness, normally you have to be drunk to do this sort of thing, but I'm not because I've got work tonight. But again, thank you all. Thank you for the subscribers as well. And also a big thank you to those who reached out to me and praised me for talking about mental health on YouTube, especially on social media as well. I know it's a stigma for a lot of people, but if anyone ever feels rubbish, down, depressed, or for whatever reason, please feel free to reach out for me, and I will try my best to help if I can. So this is part 2 of a little series that I'm doing, and this week is all about fashion. Fashion comes in many different forms. A lot of people nowadays go with the flow. I've seen pictures recently of London Fashion Week where it's men parading around in what looks like Kleenex boxes on their feet and looking like what you used to do as a child when you used to try and make yourself look like a robot and strap cardboard to yourself. But it's each to their own. My style is not for everyone, their style's not for me. It's simple as that, really. So I'd like to start off by talking about Madcap Clothing. Madcap Clothing are a company who are owned by Atom Retro, who are based in Malton in Yorkshire. I first become aware of them about 2015 when I first really got heavily into the mod scene. I do apologise if there's any flicker in the lights anyway, because I've got the windows open, and also for whatever reason my camera just decides that it wants to flicker. So I do apologise for that. Anyhow, back to the story I was telling you. Madcap, I first become aware of Madcap back in 2015. And I brought a similar shirt to this actually. This is a Marriott knit in blue. I brought the yellow version back in 2015 when I was a lot slimmer. And so anyway, about 12-14 months ago, I applied to be a rep for Madcap Clothing. Being a big lad, I just thought, well, you know, reps and models, they're always skinny, they're always good looking, they've always got something about them. I don't think I've got something that could be desirable to a clothing company. And then to my surprise, Madcap welcomed me into the rep family with open arms. First of all in tier 2, which was kind of, you know, you get discount on their clothing. And you also get to promote their stuff. Then after 6 months, I reapplied again, thinking, oh, you know, I've enjoyed myself. It's given me a bit more confidence to be who I am, wear what I want to wear, or wear different styles that I never normally would have gone for, sort of thing. So I reapplied again, and this time I got moved to tier 1, which is the top tier you can go to in Madcap Clothing, and that is kind of, they give you free items throughout your tenure as a tier 1 rep, also a very good discount as well as regular features on their social medias. So yeah, without that, it kind of gave me a confidence boost to kind of take more pictures of myself, be a bit more free with how I look, and kind of enjoy the stuff I wear instead of kind of hiding everything away and just going out and wearing it, and you know, and not having any photos taken of it. So to Madcap, I'd love to say a big massive thank you. I know my tenure's nearly up for tier 1 for the last 6 months, so hopefully I can reapply again and continue the great work I'm doing for them. So yeah, away from Madcap, it kind of gave me the confidence to explore different avenues with how I look, how I style my clothing, who I style on. This is obviously based on Steve Marriott from the Small Faces, one of many musical heroes and also style icons of myself, alongside people like Keith Moon, Roger Daltrey, even the jazz musicians of the 1950s, 1960s, and even through to Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys and also Otis Redding. Kind of gives me inspirations for how I look. So for me, it's now about, you know, you don't have to spend $1 million to look $1 million. You know, you can spend £2, £3, £4 on an item from a charity shop or thrift store if you're American or European, and you know, you can carry off the same decent look for less than if you go out and buy Fred Perry, Gucci, all these big names that are going around nowadays, because they just kind of, you just pay for the name. It's not about the clothing, it's about the name. But again, my style is not for everyone and their style's not for me. Fred Perry has a very good reputation for very good reasons, but for me, I preferred Madcap or Adapter or Scar and Soul or Trojan, who have got a smaller following than Fred Perry and also charge a lot less for top quality goods. I also deal with 2 companies in Italy, one called Caporari, owned by Lorenzo, a very good friend of mine. I brought a shirt which is called a Shawl Collar. A Shawl Collar, if you're not 100% sure what that is like a round neck and just, it's like an open shirt sort of thing, and it's like a flowing neck, sort of like Otis Redding had back in the late 60s, which was part of the reason why I brought it. And I also deal with Charles Kane, another Italian company, but this time owned by 2 British blokes, Gary and John. And again, they deal with Italian shirts and they do some absolutely fantastic stuff. Again, for cheaper than what you'd expect if you went to a different company to get a tailor-made shirt, and also giving you the weird and wonderful styles of different cloths that they can pick up as well. Also, charity shops, absolutely adore them. Vintage shops as well. I've got a few decent vintage shops around. Urban Village down in Henley in Arden is a very good friend of mine again, Frankie Johns. I also deal with a few vintage shops up and down the country, where I kind of get different style inspirations from. During the summer, you know, it's nice to have blazers, open neck shirts, and have a style that kind of represents the summer mood. I mean, this at the moment, it's a bit heavy for the weather we've got. I mean, it's nice and sunny outside. There's finally blue skies and clouds. Instead of having the rain, instead of having terrible winds that Britain's been battered through the last week and a half, it's nice to actually have a nice bit of sunshine. The weather's starting to pick up nicely. The temperature's starting to pick up nicely. So shirts like this will be put back into the wardrobe a little bit later on as the year progresses, and the summer stuff will come out. I'm a big believer in always trying to dress smart. Doesn't matter where I am, doesn't matter who I'm with, I always try to dress to impress. That's my outlook on life, is dress to impress regardless of where you're going. So tomorrow, the East Lancs Railway up in Bury, just outside of Manchester, are holding a steam gala, and for me it's a chance to enjoy my first hobby of trains, but it's also a chance for me to kind of get out there and wear a different style to what a lot of people are used to. and kind of dress for the period of the trains that we're travelling on. So tomorrow's going to be quite a 1950s style inspiration from myself. Pictures will be up on my Instagram if you do follow me on Instagram, or on my Facebook. So feel free to like, share, whatever. Please interact with me on Instagram as well. It's nice to know who my followers are, who've watched the videos as well. So yeah, I do wear quite a few different styles, and it's always nice to be different, dare to be different. There was a saying in Quadrophenia, which is, I don't want to be the same as everyone else. That's why I'm a mod sea. If I wanted to be the same as everyone else, I might as well just jump in the sea and drown. Or words to that effect. It's kind of, you know, I like to be different. I like to stand out like a sore thumb, basically. I want to be noticed. I don't want to be one of those that kind of turn up and someone's wearing the same exact clothes as me, or similar style to me. I've been to many events in my time, and there's always one or two that kind of clash with each other, especially at like the big mod events like Brighton or the Isle of Wight. There's normally a young chap or a young lady wearing vintage clothes or vintage style clothes, a boat and blazer perhaps, or a suit, and they look spot on, they look stylish, they look amazing. And then there's always some 50, 60-year-old bloke with a pot belly, balding hair, who wears the same clothes, and it just doesn't look right. It looks like they're fit to burst out of the stuff. I mean, okay, I'm big, so I can't really judge, but I carry my weight well. I always know what, if it's slim fitting or a tight fit, then I won't wear it. I try to wear as I wouldn't say as baggy, but as regular fitting as possible, because otherwise it's going to look like basically I'm pregnant, you know. So with that in mind, I do kind of wear a lot of loose fitting clothing. I wouldn't say loose fitting, but I always kind of try to avoid slim fit clothing. And the problem is nowadays that a lot of companies do go into slim fitting, you know. I have quite massive calves, and I hate anything that clings to the back of them tightly. That I can't. Like, every time I bend down, I feel like I'm going to rip the trouser in half. And also, it's not good for a person's health, mental health, if they know what size they are and they have to go a size bigger, because the company that's made it has obviously no idea of how to make clothes and is a lot smaller than advertised. I've been there a couple of times where I've wore clothes that are a 38 waist, for instance, and I can't do them up, which makes me feel like I've put weight on, but I know I haven't. There are times where I've wore extra large shirts, but they're actually slim fitting, and that's annoying because you spend out so much money on them, and then you have to go through the whole process of returning them and finding something that's a little bit bigger, or taking your custom elsewhere, and it's a nightmare. So for me, luckily, the companies I deal with, Madcap, Caparari, Charles Kane, and also Revival Vintage, based in Huddersfield, all their shirts come, or all their clothing come as a decent sizing. There are a few Madcap stuff that obviously is a bit slim fitting, and that's understandable. But I try and avoid anything that's got the word slim fit in, for the pure fact that I know that I will look really weird in it, and also if it's that tight, especially around my groin area, it looks like, you know, it looks like I'm trying to show something off when I'm actually not. So yeah, if anyone out there is kind of looking for inspiration on clothing, who to go for in terms of trying to get a real vintage style look, please feel free to message me on social media, Instagram, even through YouTube, and I will respond to you as much as possible. Sorry this week is taking a little bit longer than I was expecting to come through, and I'm sorry that my words haven't been exactly there this week. Last week I done it when I was sleep deprived, and I just bashed it out in one take. This is take 4 or 5, I think, to actually try and get what I want to say down on camera. This is totally unscripted. I don't write a script. I don't edit anything. This is all to camera in one go, in one shot. So I do apologise for any umming and ahhing or stumbling over words I might have done. But yet again, thank you all for watching. Whoever may be watching, maybe less than last week, maybe more, maybe the same. But again, thank you from the deepest depths of my heart for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure again to film this video and kind of give you an insight into my sort of styling. Maybe the next few weeks I might do a video of some of my styles, some of the clothes I wear, just to give you a brief idea of what I actually do wear when I do go out, or you know, if I do some reenacting. So it'd be nice to give you an insight of what I actually wear. I mean, it's quite difficult to do it while I'm talking to camera. I don't like editing because I'm not very good at editing. So in the next couple of weeks I will do a video of some of the styles that I wear, posted with some of the people that actually inspire them, which may be a good 10-minute video. But my next topic might be talking about me as a musician. So hopefully that'll be the next topic. If anyone else has got any topics they want me to talk about in terms of the vintage scene, please feel free to let me know, just so I can keep my ideas fresh and flowing. But yet again, thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from the Vintage Project. Take care all, and I'll see you next week.